Really looking at the very fine details. We've got a gymnast in this final, Artur Davtyan. He's kind of world renowned for being the best at sticking his vaults, and this is where again that sticking bonus is going to come into play. Looking at the qualification scores, not many athletes actually stuck their vaults, so I'll be expecting more gymnasts to be trying to land on their feet without taking those steps, and I think that could play a big difference. We saw that at the Europeans. He actually won the gold because of that bonus from sticking his landings.
Here comes the Olympic champion, Beth.
The issue when you go in for that stick bonus, we saw it during, I think it was the all-around competition, is it's a very fine margin between sticking and putting your hands down and having that slight under rotation, and actually taking a 0.1 or taking a fall, especially in a vault final, will be the difference between a medal and not.
Yes, and this comes down to absolute tenths, doesn't it? As far as what the judges are looking for in the air is concerned, what should viewers be looking out for?
Well, if the gymnasts are going to be doing double somersaults, Matt, so in a tuck position, one of the vaults you'll see is a dragolescu, where they do a double tuck with a half turn. They're looking for how close the gymnast's legs are to being together. It's very, very hard to rotate in that position with your legs together. If it's a twisting skills, they're looking for the gymnast not crossing their legs. So you'll often see in the slow motion replay afterwards, the gymnast might not have their toes together and their legs are crossed like a pair of scissors. You don't want that. You want their legs to be nice and tight, and many of these gymnasts have very, very similar vaults. So it really will come down to those fine margins. There are a couple of gymnasts in here, Yulo being one of them, that has one of the most difficult vaults in the world, and also the Chinese gymnast. So they're the two gymnasts that are going to have the difficulty advantage. So if they can put those vaults on their feet like Jake has with his first vault, the Yonakura, when he lands that, he has such an advantage over everybody else because he's got 0.4 tenths in difficulty.
We're talking of Jake. Sadly, he didn't make this final. He went all out in qualification, but you've actually got to get entry into this final during that qualification round, and things didn't go to plan, did they, for Jake?
No,
really?
He had a fall on one of his vaults, so unfortunately he didn't quite make the final. These vaults are so difficult. The gymnasts will be training these vaults, but very rarely, Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, but they'll very rarely be training them directly onto these hard landings. The impact of these vaults, if you did it every single day, would be too much. So they'll be training them onto a lot softer surfaces. So actually, when you're coming out and you've got to try and nail those landings and get the stick, it's very intense. We used to say for this vault final, whoever landed on their feet got the medal, whereas actually now we are seeing the gymnasts are landing on their feet, and it's about the execution.
Yeah, definitely.
The first four gymnasts are going to warm up, and then the second lot will go. It's quite good, this introduction with a warm up in between, isn't it? Because it's a long old wait if you're eighth up.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. I actually had this conversation yesterday. I think it's changed things quite a lot strategically. I don't actually think the order plays as much as a role as it used to. Because in the past, if you were eighth, and Beth said the same thing, you would have to wait potentially 45 minutes to complete that routine, whereas now that's cut down to 10 or 15 minutes because of that split warm-up. And actually there's a break in the action, and the judges kind of refresh. So in the past, maybe the scores would build slightly as you go through the first gymnast all the way to the eighth. Now I don't think it plays so much of a role because you'll either be first in the first set of four or first in the second set of four. So it's really changed things.
Yeah, and actually, you know, you're more engaged with the final, aren't you? Because you're in the arena often. You know, certainly with back in the day with you would be out in the warm-up gym and then come in, wouldn't you? A couple of gymnasts.
I love
before.
how you say back in the day. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you used to have the option.
I mean?
If you were kind of 6th, 7th, 8th, you could go back in the training hall, you could warm up in there, but the apparatus could be slightly different to what it was in the training gym. So not many people would necessarily go back. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't want to run down and do a huge vault with no warm-up. So the safety aspect, it is definitely the right decision to bringing these warm-ups back in for the gymnasts.
Okay, well, Tommaso there is just finishing up his warm-up. Looking forward to seeing Carlos Yulo go for his as well. I'm going to head round to the commentary box now and join Christine Still and Craig Heap. So let's get set then for this men's World Vault Final.
Thank you very much, Matt. And yes, we can just see the current Olympic champion doing his final preparation. Probably the highest field in this World Championships, Christine, because we've got the Olympic champion and the Olympic silver medalist.
Absolutely, and these gymnasts, they're just the first 4 are warming up. They get 3 practice goes. They're going to do 2 different vaults, so they get 1 opportunity to just do a timer, do a handspring or a somersault, whatever they normally do as a timer, and then they get the opportunity to actually warm up each vault. Not everybody will. We've just seen Carlos Yulo just do a very simplified version of his vault. And this gymnast attempting the whole vault.
Yep, gymnasts will have 2 vaults. This first competitor, 2023 Junior World Champion. So he'll be trying to make his mark in the senior field, Chris.
He will indeed. And a great opportunity for a young gymnast here. We haven't seen overly much of the Italian men in this World Championships. And this is their first competitor, or the first competitor on the vault, Tommaso Brugnami. We've seen strong vaulters from Italy in the past. And as junior European champion, I'm sure this guy is going to excite us as well.
Tommaso Brugnami then for Italy with his first vault. Qualified 5th for this final.
4.8 on the difficulty. Let's see what he's got. Oh, and that was really good. The triple twist in the Yushchenko.
Neat, a neat start then for the Italian.
Very good, and I'm wondering whether they've got the wrong start score up there, because down here he nominated a 5-2 last time.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of confusion on the women's side with it's the administrators who put up the numbers. So there was a little bit of confusion, but this was a beautiful vault, wasn't it? Flip on, you can see he goes on with beautiful straight arms.
Great style.
Wraps 3 twists in, makes it look easy, actually.
Well, he scored 14.266 with that vault in qualification, but that looked beautiful, actually.
Well, and also he had a blind fault in qualification, so he lost a 0.1 as well. I don't know if he stayed in the lines 8. We'll be able to see from this angle. Look, blocks in, wraps in, 3 twists. And did he stay in? Oh, he did.
And I would say we've seen a fair few triple twists, or attempts at triple twists. That's one of the best I've seen. Well,
I tell you what, if he keeps up this consistency, the 19-year-old's going to be very difficult to beat. 14.366. That is a great start for Tommaso Brugnami. Not long out of the junior ranks. In qualification, he opted for the same difficulty for his second vault as he did for the first.
Very fast, powerful approach. And the triple twist in the Sukahara. Now, I'm wondering, is that a stuck landing? Because if it is, it's 0.1. Big vault. This guy is obviously a twister.
Well, what a fine hope for the future for Italy. Italy have never won a gold medal at the World Championships on this piece of apparatus. They have a silver and a bronze, but Tommaso Brugnami, what a talent and what a start to this men's vault final.
And you heard Sam earlier explaining what the judges are going to be looking for. They don't want to see legs crossed. Well, he didn't. Little deduction for the feet apart on. But look at those toes locked together. Very difficult to hold that form during 3 twists. And in the straight somersault, look, he turns on, he blocks, he wraps so efficiently. Out come the arms to steady the landing. Well, the rest are going to have to be pretty good to beat this.
Yeah, well, a real medal chance here
I think so. With that, he'll pick up a 0.1. I'm sure for the stick bonus as well.
I mean, there's some big vaulters to come, but consistency is the key. 14.466. Fantastic as the average.
Very impressive, 14.466. I think that'll medal.
Yeah, I think it might just.
Well, from a 19-year-old to a 20-year-old now, this is Daniel Marinov competing as a neutral athlete.
And a very compact, powerful gymnast, also going for the triple, the step back, so he'll lose a little marks there, but that was a very long vault as well as high.
He was sharp in the twist, wasn't he? Speedy twist.
For me, it looked a little bit more powerful. It looked like it had a little bit more height. Easily round. Good up form throughout the air. Look, landing with the chest up. That's what the judges are looking for. So if the chest down, you would say it's under rotation. But look at that, fully round. Actually did very well to control that and not roll out.
Really big vault here. And another gymnast keeping those legs squeezed together. When we first saw these triple twists off the vault, they were scrabbling to get them round, but now these two young gymnasts have shown absolutely superb vaulting.
I mean, he's up in the rafters there, isn't he? So high.
Well, there are phases to where the judges start taking the deductions. It's straight from the springboard. Then they look at the block on the top, and then you've got the flight phase off, distance and length.
14.3, so just down a little bit on Brugnami's first vault. He also did a 5.2 for the second vault in qualification, so a similar strategy to the first vaulter. Marinov's also in the parallel bars and the high bar final today, so busy day for him.
Very accomplished gymnast. Here we see, and the Dragulescu we were speaking about, the handspring, double front with the half turn out in the second somersault. Again, a fair step back and chest down a little bit on landing, but that is a risky vault, and he performed it really well.
Well, the score to beat is 14.466 as an average of the two vaults.
Good, powerful vaulting, Christine, but you're right, really low down on the chest. I don't think it'd be good enough on an average to go above the Italian. Look, really low down there.
Yeah, deep, yeah.
So, and there'll be no stick bonus.
His hair almost brushed the floor, didn't it?
Again, great height, though.
Oh, superb.
This is any vault that's half turning down from the vault gives the gymnast the opportunity to look for the floor. Look, wraps in. Actually, 2.5 somersaults from the hands. Looked like he landed on a bit of a straight leg as well, a little bit of a jarring. But as Beth was saying, these gymnasts won't be performing onto this hard surface day in, day out.
The World Championship debut for Daniel Marinov. First time we've got to see him. He's competing as a neutral athlete here.
And he's been pretty impressive, Matt, hasn't he?
14.15 is the average, so Tommaso Brugnami of Italy leads this competition on 14.466. Will he remain in the top spot after the next gymnast? There's Angelina Melnikova, world all-round champion, vault champion, and medalled yesterday as well. So the Olympic champion on vault is at the end of the vault runway. Took a silver at the World Championships back in 2022. He won this event in 2021. Can he win it back? 5-6 the difficulty.
Well, watch this. The Dragulescu in the back position with the half turn. I mean, that was stratospheric. What about that?
What a vault. Right, now where do the judges deduct from here? Let's have a look, because that was absolutely superb, Chris.
It was. He has his legs glued together. Up he goes. 2.5, turn out. Lovely landing. I mean, he'll get the stuck landing. He'll lose a little bit, certainly not for lack of height, but for the chest facing the floor as he landed rather than facing the vault. But what amazing vaulting. He's so tight and strong in all his shapes, isn't he? A pike, he really shows a pike with straight legs. Lovely turnout.
I mean, that was near perfection, surely.
Well, it's out of 15.6. In the replay as well, it's normally an opportunity to pick up the faults of a vault. That, you can see the extension is squeezing in his quads.
And he needs to bend his legs in order to take the impact of that vault. So, you know, forgive him a little flex there.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy's 4'11". So the vault's big. The amount he can generate, the power, is absolutely phenomenal. He's certainly laid down the gauntlet. I mean, this is going to be a big score.
Colossal score. Look, 9-5 on the execution. 15.2. Wow.
Well, it's quite difficult to see where the 0.5 went, actually.
I mean, I need to have a word with these judges. Wow. That was incredible. Well, he'll go for a slightly easier vault. He deserves to. 5.2 is what he put up in qualification. Who knows what he'll do here? He's got so many vaults in his locker. He is going for the 5.2. And going for a gold medal here.
Well, just watch this. Oh, look at that! The straight front with the 2.5 twist. Not only can this gymnast rotate, he can spin like a top.
I mean, that surely can't be beaten. That was phenomenal.
He's absolutely textbook in his technique, isn't he? He hits the front of that platform and just, well, it's a platform and it rockets him into the air. Look how high, high, high. Then he wraps those twists in, out for landing. He's really positive with all his actions. Up, really twists, out with those straight arms. They won't get the stick for that vault because he had a little shuffle backwards. But I think this guy is absolutely beautiful in the air.
Yes, I mean...
Even from the springboard, there's not many gymnasts that can keep their legs together, which obviously builds the energy. What you've got to do is try and create the momentum. I mean, he runs down the vault like a sprinter. I think what would be really interesting to see is if they had like a speedometer at the side to see how quick the gymnasts run to the vault, because he really does anchor down that runway.
He looks like a trampolinist, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In the air.
14.866 is the average. He says, number one, we all agree with you. I mean, that is going to be tough to beat, but he'll have to wait. There's another 5 gymnasts left to go in this final. Next at the end of the vault runway, Minami Kazuki of Japan. He's the 7th highest qualifier, 25 years old. Going for same difficulty, 5.2 as the first 2.
And again, real power down the runway. Oh, but that's what happens when you don't quite get round that triple twist. And that looked quite an uncomfortable landing on those very hard mats.
It looked to me a little bit of stall in the rotation just before the twist. Maybe you can see again here. There. Look, there was just that little bit of a stall to initiate when he wrapped it there. And that was, a real ankle biter, that one.
When you block off the top of this platform, you have to marry rotation and height, and he went for quite a bit of length and I think sacrificed the amount of height he got off. And you know, you need a lot of time in the air to get round 3 twists.
This is the gymnast in warm-up, Chris, that did the 2.5 twist, Yuchenko, and sat down. He's not certainly performing these with ease like some of the previous performers.
He was in that floor final alongside Jake and Luke. Finished 8th there. He needs to bring a lot of that acrobatic skill to this second vault if he wants to make amends.
Well, we've seen the previous three competitors all work without major error, so he's got a mountain to climb if he wants to try and get into the medals.
Oh yes, for sure.
Well, he qualified in 7th place, so looking at that, not going to be a contender.
13.133 for that first vault. Okay, what's Kazuki got in store for the second vault? He's going for the easiest vault that we've seen in this vault final for his second attempt. So this one is all about execution. Keep your eye on that form, the height and the landing. Vault number 2 for Minami Kazuki.
Same good, precise run, but and that was much better, wasn't it? He used the round off in front of the board, the flip on, and he got beautiful height and flight from the platform, able to wrap in the 2.5 twists with ease. Great to see him come back and perform with confidence.
Yeah, much better than the warm-up. I remember my coach always said to me, there's no point winning the warm-up, and he certainly saved it there. Technically a much better vault, obviously a little bit easier than the first.
But it's an interesting dilemma, isn't it? How easier you go and how well you can execute it, because it's all about the ultimate number of marks at the end of the vault.
Well, actually, before we went on air, we were having a lengthy discussion about the stick bonus on each piece of apparatus, you know, and
how
as
valuable
Christine
that
pointed
is,
out
yeah.
yesterday, yeah, if you take a step, you've lost 0.1, compared to if you stick it, you're 2/10 better off. So it's almost a 2/10 stick bonus when you put it down like that. But I mean, great second vault. It'll not be good enough to challenge because of the first vault, but good to see a successful outing.
14.366 for that second vault, gives him an average of 13.749.
9.466 on execution. For me, that was generous.
Yes.
Compared to Yulo.
But the next 4 gymnasts, they'll be out to have their warm-up. And I think Sam was talking earlier about, you know, before they had the split warm-up, you could be waiting 45 minutes. I think of all the things that the FIG have brought in, I think this is a great rule, Chris, don't you?
Yes, I do, and I feel that because I remember the times when you always warmed up like this, and then we had this period where you were expected to just pop up out of the back gym and perform, and I felt that we went towards the show being more important than the gymnast in those days. You know, giving a slick show was more important than the safety of the gymnast, and I'm very, very pleased to see it come back to being more gymnast-centred and the safety and performance of the gymnast being more important than the slick show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think what's also changed is because they've the gym out the back. Donnell was talking yesterday about his rings performance, and the first 4 obviously went up, and he was in the second group, went into the back gym, had a bit of a swing and stuff. So I think all those things are really important for gymnast safety. And we're looking at, you know, the level of skills I've seen, you know, in the last 25 years. And I'm messaging friends I did gymnastics with. I'm like, what they're doing now is crazy. I mean, this is on another level.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had some incredible performances at these World Championships. Sam, if you can hear me in the studio, I think I've seen one of my favourites there with that first vault from Carlos Yulo. I mean, the form in the air, we were talking about it in the build-up to this final, and he certainly didn't disappoint us. It was absolutely magnificent. One of the best vaults I think I've seen him do, Sam.
Yeah, again, Matt, me and Beth celebrating in the studio. Definitely one of the best vaults I think I've ever seen in my life. I remember Jake's first vault when he became world champion, and I said at the time, I think that's the best vault I've ever seen, and I think Carlos Yulo there is certainly putting him under a bit of pressure with that vault. Just absolutely stunning. But yeah, you're right. What Craig was saying there, I think back to when Beth won her world title in 2006. I think in the vault final there, Fabian Hambuchen, legend of the sport, won a vault medal with a double twist and a 2.5. Well, in this final, I think we're probably only going to see triple twist Dragulescu's and 3.5 twists or handspring triple twists. So it just shows you how much the sport has come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, enjoy the second half as we go down to the end of the vault runway with Mukamadzen Jakubov of, well, he's competing as a neutral athlete. So, Mukamadzen Jakubov, he's the champion of the neutral athletes competing.
.2 on the difficulty. Oh, and that was good. 2.5 twist forwards in the straight position. Just that little adjustment, so no stick bonus, but again, another very difficult flighty vault.
I love these handspring twisting vaults. There's the technique here from the board to the platform and the immediate thrust up into the air is so impressive. They're sort of just such classic vaults, aren't they? Everybody learnt to handspring who's done gymnastics, and that is taking it to the absolute nth degree.
I also think there's been a big shift on vaulting for the twisting vaults. You know, once of a day in the vault finals, we've seen the double front and the double pike, and actually those extra rotations proven to be more difficult to land, where the twisting ones, especially the ones coming down facing the vaulting table, seem to be the more favoured and the more solid vaults.
I think the...
Ooh, look, strong. 14.3 for that first vault for Mukamadzen. Well, here he goes then, and he's ready with a... He's going to post a 5.2 for the second vault as well. What can Jakubov do here? He's 22 years old. Could well challenge here, looking at how well he did in qualification.
Well, power and precision at its best. Oh, he nearly got the .1. Another gymnast going for the Dragulescu, the handspring double front with the half turn. Just a little chest down and hop forward. I don't think it'd be good enough actually to go above the Italian, who's
14.466 is that second place spot at the moment, but the top three entry score for the top three 14.15.
Oh, I agree with you, Craig. I don't think it'll be quite good enough. It's very nice vaulting, though. He gets up. He doesn't quite get his head into the front somersault, so it doesn't rotate so quickly, meaning that he had to squeeze in for a long time before he could make the half turn out.
And also, he's not just got the same distance from the table as some of the other gymnasts, and that's something the judge are looking for. Obviously, you want to get your hands as close to the front, you know, and then it's the distance travelled.
He'll be delighted, but that was a very deep landing. They could easily deduct 0.5 on that landing, I would have thought. But exciting vaulter.
14.183. He's in third at the moment, Jakubov. 14.066 for the second vault. So the only Chinese gymnast in this vault final. Huang Minji got a silver at the Baku World Cup earlier this year, but he's capable of a very big score with his first vault. High 14s he posted in qualification.
Oh, another of these huge vaults. Just look how long that vault was. He was to the back end of the landing mats. Beautiful form in the air. this generation of gymnasts have grown up with this vaulting platform, and they really seem to have learned how to use the springs and launch themselves off it.
Well, you can see there he was just about a foot further on the vaulting table, and you can see the distance travelled. Obviously, if it's a single somersault, you don't need the same height as a double somersault, but that for me, it's got height, it's got length, good form in the air. He actually got the stick bonus in qualification for the first vault, which obviously he won't get this time, but very good, clean vaulting. And the thing as well with the forward vaulting like that and the twist, you tend to get better alignment.
14.366 for the first vault. He's in the mix.
Well, I think that definitely was the longest vault we've seen, and had beautiful height as well. Just a little bit of lack of control on the landing. Can he match it?
14.183 from Jakubov is currently the third place spot as the average, as Huang lines up for his second vault.
Shorter run. Oh, but another superbly flighted vault.
Yeah, it was calm, wasn't it? Actually, it's the calmest vault I think we've seen.
Well, he had a very measured approach, backflip on, beautiful straight lines. I mean, that triple twist, easily round look. And as Christine said, you know, the distance from the vaulting platform, this is probably the longest two vaults we've seen. It does look a tall gymnast. And once you start twisting, that helps with the rotation. And just that little adjustment on landing. No stick bonus. I don't think it will be good enough to go up above the Italian, Brugnami.
Well, Brugnami has a score of 14.466. Carlos Yulo leads this competition on 14.866.
It was very impressive.
He's gone into third. He's gone into third, 14.416. So Brugnami still holding on there. The 19-year-old Italian in second place with two gymnasts left to go.
I mean, that's phenomenal for the young Italian. Straight from the junior world champion into a world final.
Amazing.
At 19, the oldest competitor in this final, 33 years of age, 14 years difference.
Well, here comes the third highest qualifier. Nazar Chepurnyi of Ukraine. Got a bronze medal at the European Championships on this event earlier this year. And he's also bagged himself a bronze medal at the Worlds 2 years ago.
Watch this, powerful double front with the half turn. Dragulescu, plenty of height, plenty of flight.
And
Just
that's
couldn't
how
hold on for that point one.
That's how you land it, though, isn't it, Craig? Look how high his chest is. He kicks out. He really kicked out, didn't he? And his chest is right up, pointing to the platform. Beautiful vaulting.
He makes it look so easy. Just a little bit loose in the legs there. You can tell the difference in the style between him and Yulo. I mean, he was 6 in the vault final at the Olympic Games, competed at numerous World Cups, as you said, Matt, European world medals, a wealth of experience. 14.2, 3.3 in qualification. So it'll be into the 14s.
It's not so often you see a kick out like that, so that the body is stretched before you land for such a difficult vault.
14.466 for the first vault, and look at that execution, 9.266.
So he's matching Brugnami. Needs to just keep that consistency now. Get himself back on that world podium. Looks so focused. Needs every 10th of the execution here.
Well, it's another big vault, 5-2. Oh, and look at that! Triple twist from the Sukahara. He had a line fault in qualification of a 0.1, which just took him down a little bit. But he's very efficient vaulter, Christine.
Yes, I think he was pretty close to the line here. It's a little bit difficult for us to say. They haven't given us an angle to show. But I'm so impressed with these gymnasts. They're so tidy and tight in the air, aren't they?
And not bad on the way on the entry there.
No, very, very nice work here.
I mean, we've sort of gone into another zone, haven't we, with the men's vault, because it doesn't look crazy now. I mean, it's still as difficult as it always used to be, but they're making it look so effortless now that you're not sitting on the edge of your seat. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think what's happened is a lot of the coaches have gone back, seen the big double somersault vaults and thought, these guys are hit and miss. I mean, Courtney Tulloch from Great Britain is a prime example.
Well, he's gone into second place, knocking Brugnami down into third, 14.483 for the Ukrainian. That was huge vaulting for the penultimate vaulter in this men's vault final. Now, the oldest competitor will have something to say about that is for sure. He's qualified with the second highest score. He's 33 years old, but he won the World Championships back in 2022. He's an Olympic bronze medalist and silver medalist in Paris. He's had to watch all the vaulters go, and I tell you what, even with his experience, he's under pressure.
He knows he needs to be perfect. Takes a long, powerful run. Up we go, beautiful, and that is what you call perfect.
That was superb. What an answer to all of the gymnastics that we've seen so far.
I'm sure in the last competition he got the stick bonus for both vaults. It was his landings that took him above Jake Jarman.
He just plopped it out of the air, didn't he? Look, 2.5 somersaults, half turn, plop.
Phenomenal.
You know, you talk about the warm-up. I watched him in the warm-up, and he just does a very simple tuck front half turn, gets his timer in there. I mean, a lot of gymnasts have got a deep landing, chest down, but talk about saving the best till last. For me, it's not as good as Yulo's first vault, but it's right up there. Look at the height there from the platform.
Well, he's going to have to go some with his second vault to win back this title. Carlos Yulo has an average score of 14.866, but that was a very solid and a near perfect vault. Look, 14.8. He got the stick bonus. So, well, what can he deliver with his second vault? And can he score more than 14.866 and win back this title?
Well, that was wonderful first vault.
You can hear a pin drop out in Jakarta. He scored 14.7 in qualification with this second vault.
Needs to be just as precise. Up he goes, beautiful twist, and he is. What absolute magnificent vaulting.
How did he do that under the most extreme conditions? I mean, he's watched all the vaulters go. Carlos Yulo puts in an absolute beauty, and then he comes back with this. Well, this is going to be close.
It certainly is, because he'll pick up that 0.1. I mean, Yulo has, on difficulty, 4/10 more.
Yeah.
Now, he had a 14.7 in qualification with that vault. He's now equalled it, I feel, and got the stick. So I think that's another 14.8, which would just put him above Yulo. 14.866.
He needs more than
14.9.
14.8. Yeah.
Yeah, you see he's down 4/10, isn't he, on difficulty. So he's got to vault.
15. It's got to be up to a 15.
Oh, he nearly did it. 14.866. His average is 14.833 by a whisker. Yulo gets the title. Oh my word. They've both been world vault champions before. It was a question of which way it was going to go, but Carlos Yulo is victorious ahead of Artur Davtyan. But at 33 years old, what a fight Davtyan put up there. Carlos Yulo wins back the vault title with a score of 14.866. Artur Davtyan finishes second, 14.833. And, well, Nazar Chepurnyi, 23 years old, the third highest qualifier, he gets the bronze for Ukraine. Brilliant. What a final. That was spectacular, wasn't it?
I do think, Matt, that's probably the best final we've ever seen. Like you said, we've gone from the heart in your mouth days to a real fabulous performance.
Well, that was something else. What a treat for everybody who watched that one. There's confirmation of how things look at the end of the vault final. Carlos Adriel Yulo of Philippines, he wins back the gold. Artur Davtyan tried everything to try and win it back, but he will settle for the silver in that battle, that's for sure. And then Nazar Chepurnyi of Ukraine, he takes the bronze medal. But Brugnami of Italy, he started the competition, created a brilliant benchmark, and the lads followed in absolute style. Beth, Sam in the studio. Beth, I mean, what a final that was for the first of our individual apparatus finals today. What a way to begin.
Yeah, I think I agree with Christine. It's one of the best vault finals I've ever seen, and you could really see the gymnasts actually going for those sticks, especially Davtyan going last. Under that pressure, he knew to be able to even compete with Carlos, he had to go for the stick landings due to the difficulty difference. And
yes.
I mean, we see him do so many World Cups, so many kind of other major championships, and he is constantly landing these vaults as a stick. It's insane how hard they are. He makes them look so easy.
Sam, we've been talking about the fact that you don't feel so on edge now watching the vault final, but the key to that stick, what is it? How are they managing to do this? Out of all of that rotation and all of that twisting, then to get that well-deserved .1, what is the key to that?
Well, the job of the technique, Matt, is to put yourself in the right position to get the stick, and that all comes from the